Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Skipper. You here right now with Thizzler.com. You dig? Yee! Okay. So I'm gonna make a long story short. Basically, my nickname is Skip. It's been my childhood nickname since I was a little youngin'. And so my best friend, she's a girl named Samantha, she actually started calling me Skipper just as a joke. And so she would call me that. And then I started rapping. I was like really coming up listening. I was a big Wayne head. So I was listening to a lot of Wayne, a lot of the early Young Money, a lot of Currency stuff. And like Currency is like one of my favorite rappers. And so like when I first started rapping, you know how like when you're like rapping other people's verses, you kind of like put yo kind of spin, and I was kind of doing that. And you know, he called himself Spitter. I would like, instead of saying Spitter, I would say Skipper. And then like when I start putting that at the end of my verses as like a tag. And then when the time came for me to actually pick a name, I just ran with Skipper. Kind of just like, it was just like a subconscious thing. But yeah, that's kind of really how it came. But shout out to Samantha, Sammy Bo, I love you, baby. It was kind of difficult. Well, for me, it was just like trying to figure it out, because I personally haven't been doing this all my life. This is only like my 6th year doing this. So me trying to just figure out and learning, me starting from scratch, even learning how to rap. Like I just learned how to rap like 6 years ago. So me just trying to figure all this out in a quick, fast, and like that's what really the transition for me was like. And me having that crutch, not a crutch, but just more so that support of my friends, I kind of felt I needed to step outside of that and to establish my own name, you feel me? And it's still not taking myself out of the game, but just establishing myself as Skipper. Like, what does Skip bring to the table? Why do people like what Skip does? Why does, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And yeah, that was really just the most difficult part for me. Other than that, music is like easy. Like once I like got that, that's like easy. But just trying to establish a voice for yourself and establish yourself as a household name, that was kind of like my struggle. We was throwing a Schmafest at John's house, and I was hanging out with John and Rance and Rossi at the time. And Sue and Pilo and Chief, and they would all come to the Schmops. That's how we linked up, and then just start hanging out from there. And then they were making their music, and Cool John and Sue were really tight. They went to CC College together. And John was helping put Shu's stuff together. So me hanging out with John, I automatically just started getting cool with Sue and everybody. And then we just started making music. They were making their music and stuff, and then we were all at be at Chief's house, and then we just was making a song one day. I just did like a little quick 8-bar verse, and it turned out pretty tight, or whatever. And so we just kept making stuff, and then we ended up making Up, and we made Swaggin', and just the rest was history. And we started playing them at the Schmops, and then that's how they started getting the music started getting popular. We were playing them at Schmops, and then people would carry on, because people were coming from all over the place to the Schmopfest, like from LA. People were like flying in, and it was crazy. Like, so, and then it spread to like the club DJs, and then eventually the radio, and then the rest was history. We have themes, like different themes. Like I remember for one of our particular, we had like an Obama theme. When Obama first got elected, everybody had to come in like Obama, like either you had an Obama pin or an Obama t-shirt. It was just really just like, it was fun. Then we had like the Jersey part where everybody came in like sports apparel. We had of course like the classic like lingerie type. It was just different things, a lot of fun, like young fun. It was all organic, because like we didn't even think that it could turn into that. We was just honestly just making music to play at the parties. Like we just wanted to dance and just play around. Like Sue and them were taking it serious, but like I was just like fucking around, you know what I mean? Just everybody try to do their little rap every now and then. So that was just me trying, and it ended up turning into something. I feel they doing a motherfucking thing right now. Shout out to SOB. Yeah, they ushered in, it's just another generation. It's in everything, like music changes every 5-6 years. So it's like, we had our run, we still doing our thing, but it's on another level. And just like they're the next generation that's carrying the youth. Like I'm about to be 30, so like I can't necessarily speak for the 19, 18, 20-year-olds. Like I can make what I make and they fuck with it, but like they are in it, you feel me? So they get it. So I feel like that's what they bring in, like that's the new youthful energy. And so that's always needed. But as far as like comparing, I don't think like we make the same kind of stuff. Like I feel like they have their lane, but it's all just good music at the end of the day. That's how I feel. Yeah, it was crazy, like just that whole time. It was a lot different than now. Like I say, it was real tough, I say, back then, because we got a lot of backlash. Like, I don't know if you remember the whole New Bay situation. Like, we got a lot of, like, backlash from, like, the old cats and the people that's, like, random fans, like, saying we wasn't on that mob shit. We wasn't talking about this and that. We was talking about fun and bitches and trying to get money and partying and stuff like that. And it was getting popularity. So, like, we was getting a lot of pushback, but we was also getting a lot of love. So, a lot of the fans really like put us to like where we got to, just the demand and people wanting to hear something different and people wanting to hear something new and fresh and fun. And so I feel like we definitely ushered in that, like just the fun aspect, bringing fun back to like from this region. Like, cause it was a lot of like mob and murder and gang and like it's back on that hype too, but back then it was just crazy. And then like coming off the hyphy movement, people doing like a lot of drugs and all the this, people just acting crazy. So like we kind of like put a bad light on us. So like us coming from a different lane, that kind of opened up the floodgates for other people to do their thing, I think. This project was way different than my previous project. This is more so about, it's more so explaining myself and just introducing the fans and introducing the people into me personally, aside from the HBK Gang, just getting to know me personally, just my ideas and my points of view on things. So that I just had to, in order for me to do that, I had to like learn. I had to learn about myself and figure stuff out. But in between those times, I was dropping music, but this is my first full-length project though. But yeah, just navigating, trying to figure it out, and I got it though. We're making it happen. And that's really just a campaign to get the people behind me, kind of like similar to actual presidential campaign. You just make your rounds, spreading your message all over the place, trying to get as many people behind you as possible to help you elevate you to where you're trying to be, until it just, and as well as just executing everything at the highest level, just the presidential level.